Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today I want to give a short video here on some of the supplies that we use for our grazing operation. And I know a lot of people that started out and they failed because they didn't get the right products and they gave up. Said, oh, that electric fencing stuff, it doesn't work. Our wires busted, the deer are knocking it down, the posts are snapping, the reel's tangled up, the polywire wasn't any good. We couldn't keep the wire hot, and it just goes on and on and on. And 99.9% of those problems were because they used the wrong products and they didn't have their infrastructure set up correctly. So I'm just gonna go over everything here real quick. Here's the O'Brien reels. They're the geared reels, and they've got the mixed metal. This is the mixed metal wire on there. This particular reel is about 20 years old. So this has been one of the early ones we got, like in 2005. The polybraid versus the polywire. I wish I had a piece of polywire I could show you, but I don't have any, and there's a reason I don't have any. It's junk. It's absolute junk. Polywire is twisted. This is braided. It's braided. There's 9 steel filaments in there. And I'll tell you how stout this stuff is. I had a four-wheeler like this that stalled on the back of the farm, and I didn't have a tow rope. I didn't want to go back to the house. So the intern and I grabbed a piece of this, and we doubled it, and we tied it to the four-wheeler, and we tied it to the Toyota pickup. And we towed this thing, one just like this. It was an old one. We went almost a half a mile. We didn't go up any hills. That's how tough this stuff was. It pulled a 750-pound four-wheeler back to the road where we could load it, and we got it repaired. But Polybraid, Powerflex, that's where I get it from. And if you put in my discount code, you can get, depending on what what discount they have going, it's either 15 to 20% off of your purchase order. So that's a big savings. I mean, if you're buying $1,000 worth, it's $150 you stuck in your pocket. Okay, every reel that you buy comes with one of these. This is in the box with it. Okay, these are the handles. Most of them come with red handles. I've got some yellow ones. Anyway, this particular piece is what you tie on your slip knot on this end, and you can hook this to barbed wire, woven wire, or whatever, anything conductive, and you can go the other direction and hook up hot to your source. The O'Brien step-in post, you see I've got a bunch of them there. They are unbelievable. I've got some here behind me that are 25 years old. These are the white ones, and I went away from the white because it seems like the sun works on them, but I'm still use these. I used these this winter. The 2 top notches are broke, but I use that notch. I prefer yellow and blue. And if you nailed me down and told me, Greg, you can't have blue and you can't have yellow, you can only pick one, which color would I pick? I'm gonna pick yellow. And I tell you why. I haven't seen any yellow ones do this. See, even this blue one. Now this blue post is probably around 20 years old. See, it's starting to fade. So I don't have any yellow posts that are 20 years old, but I don't know. I got a feeling that yellow is gonna outperform all the other colors. Of the 3 colors, I think yellow might be the best. Another advantage of yellow or blue is on snow. You sure don't want to be putting out white posts on snow because the cattle or sheep, whatever you run, they can't see them. and they're gonna run through them and knock them down. Another thing, when you do get your reels and such, take care of them. You notice I've got my stuff stacked in piles, neat piles. This was not neat. It's leaning over. Keep everything stacked up. Keep your reels. You know, all I did here is I just took a piece of high tensile wire and ran it from one post or one beam to the other, and I hang my reels up. If you get in the habit of leaving your reels laying on the ground, either gonna run over them, somebody's gonna drop something on them, or whatever. Take care of these reels. They're not cheap. You don't wanna be buying one of those every year. If you take care of them, they'll last, well, I've got some that are over 25 years old. This is one of my original O'Briens. Yeah, they're like a good friend, you know? Take care of them. So there's the reels, the post, the pigtails. I love the pigtails I get from Powerflex. These are the shorter ones, not the real tall ones. There's another company that makes a lot taller posts than this. I don't like them. They're too tall. And I have to apologize, there's a wind tunnel coming through here. These are made by Terragate, and I have not been able to find them. Terragate actually got bought out by another company in New Zealand, and I don't know if they continued to make those or not. But the guy I got them from, they gave me some for samples. He has not been able to get any more of them either. You know what's crazy? They made an awesome product, and I don't think they knew what they had. And I'll go into that on another video. So here's my luggage rack on my four-wheeler. All I've got on here is a bungee, okay? But on the back, I've got these pipes. And these pipes are just a U-bolt onto my luggage rack, and they hold all my pigtails, okay? The steel shaft pigtails. And with these steel shaft pigtails, you can stack posts all the way up to the top and bungee them down with a cord. And then you go out to put in your paddocks, which I'm getting ready to do by myself this morning. Alex left for vacation, and Isaac and another young man that's interviewing for an internship, they went and did the cows and the heifers this morning. And they got a bunch of fence to take out. But I'm doing the bulls and steers. And folks, when you get it set up and you have a good machine that's set up for it, it really isn't that much work. It doesn't take that much time to do this. Here's my bar. So I take this to my welder. I bought the luggage rack. This is the luggage rack I just bought from Honda. You can buy them online, whatever kind you want, I don't care, but make sure you get one that's tall enough. I like to get one that is a minimum of 6 inches high, okay? And I want it to be the full width across on my four-wheeler, okay? I don't want it sticking out past my fenders, because if you do, you're gonna be throwing mud up in there. So this one's recessed in about 3 inches on each side. And then I take this basket to my welder, Doug, and Doug makes this bracket for me. And this is extremely important. I don't have a tape measure with me. I'm going to show you how deep it is. So you just take one of these, set it up there, and it basically goes to about the bottom of that. That's how tall that is. You don't want to make it any longer than that. You don't want to make it any shorter than that. If you do, it'll pop out. So this is holding my reel as I go across my paddock, and I'm sitting on here just like this. I'm going to get up here side saddle. Okay. So I'm on here side saddle, and well, I'll just put the wire out there to give you a better visual of what it looks like. And that one got taken out of the guide somehow. I'll get it back in the guide so I don't booger it up. There we go. All right, so that is going out, and I've already taken my bungee loose back here, and I've exposed 15 posts. And the 15 posts are laying here right beside my butt. And the steel spikes always, when you're sitting on the four-wheeler, the spikes need to be on your right, over here. There they are. Don't put them on the left. So when you grab your post here, you grab it, it's already positioned to throw. You just grab them, throw it in the ground, step it in, go to the next one. Throw it in the ground, go to the next one. I am not carrying anything here, folks. I'm getting ready to go almost a mile back to the back of this farm this morning and put in the paddocks. While I'm gonna be gone, I'm going to Toronto. I leave in a couple days and I'll be gone for 3 days. So I want Isaac to be set up so that when I'm gone, all he's got to do is reel up to move the bulls and the steers. And so it just takes a little bit of setup. The other thing, folks, this is huge right here. Jan nicknamed this the fence jumper. And years ago, we had a young man here, Jacob, and Jacob, this is his design. And he made one, I actually made two, and put them on our four-wheelers. And I tell you what, this has been the biggest time saver that we've ever had. We had a group here on farm tour the other day, and two guys were sitting on there. They saw me going toward the high-tensile wire, and one of them hollered and said, "Greg, fence, fence." And yeah, I know, I see it. You're gonna run into it. I'm like, yeah, I know it. And the fence hit it right here and went zoop, right underneath the four-wheeler. Folks, you don't need to get off to open gates. You don't need to get off to put your foot on the wire to drive over it. And it saves you literally hours a week and the frustration of getting off all the time. These are fence jumpers. And we've got those available now on our website. Doug, nice young, well, I shouldn't say, yeah, he's young. He's the same age I am. Doug was in my class when we graduated. And Doug is probably one of the best welders I've ever seen. I mean, that guy can flat weld, okay? Anyway, I'm trying to keep Doug in business a little bit, helping him out. And we're selling these now, manufactured by Doug, and they fit on a 500 Rubicon. They go right on it. They bolt right on the sides here and on the bottom. And, you know, if you look at the bolt holes on your four-wheeler, whatever kind you have, hopefully it's a Honda. Hopefully it's a Rubicon. Folks, I'm not a Rubicon dealer. But I tell you what, if I was, I could sell these. I could sell these all day long because there's no other four-wheeler in the world that measures up to this four-wheeler right here. This is a Foreman Rubicon. It's got the high and the low side. You can lock it in right here to where all four tires are pulling. If you get in a muddy, you know, down in a ditch, or you need traction, or you're pulling a Greg Judy bale unrolling hay or whatever in mud, you need traction, just lock that in. This thing is stout. I still can't believe how much weight I pull with it. We're pulling around about 1,000-pound mineral feeder. That 16-hole mineral feeder out there weighs about 1,000 pounds. This pulls it around just fine. Yeah, just make sure you get whatever you get. I don't care what kind you get. But if you get this one, you're gonna get the high side and the low side. When you start torquing, you need torque. Shift this down to low, put it in four-wheel drive, man, you have got a tool. Yep, wonderful. But anyway, Powerflex is gonna, I think they've got stocked up pretty well on spring supplies. They've got the reels, they've got the posts, they've got the wire, they've got chargers. My favorite charger that I use is a SpeedRite. I love SpeedRite chargers. They're just, no, they just don't fail, okay? And the last thing you need, of course, when you go out by yourself on a cool, it's kind of cool out there this morning still, you got to bring your hot coffee. And so my luggage rack, I have my, I've got my bungee up here and there's my coffee. So person's got to have him a hot drink of coffee when you're putting up fence on a cool morning. And these bungees and that rack being that depth is perfect. You see, I've never dumped this coffee because that rubber keeps it tight up against there or something. You know, man's got to have his tools. And here's the last thing. This thing's got a compartment on the side. Folks, you need one of these. Now, it doesn't have to be this one, but this one is a SpeedRite. This came with the charger when I bought it. I can turn it on like that, and it tells me when I touch the wire out here. Now this is, well, the wind's gonna kill us, but I'm gonna show you. I'll go back in here in a minute. This is Doug's charger. He's on a solar charger. Let's see what he's got. See what he's pushing this morning. Oh man, 5,200, 5,200 volts. Folks, as long as you can keep your fence over 4,000, that's gonna keep in most cattle. Sheep, a little different story. I like to keep my sheep fence hotter is better, 7,000 to 8,000, especially if you're just trying to run one wire. It needs to be hot. You don't want it tick on them. You want them to knock them into next week. And they only need that once. Because once they get hit like that, they don't mess with it anymore. They're like you and I. They didn't appreciate the feeling of getting their socks knocked off, and they're not gonna go around it again. So I say hit them hard first, and then your problems are done. They will respect your wire after that. So with that, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go put in some fence, and it needs to be efficient, and it needs to be something that isn't where you're carrying a lot of stuff. Folks, if you have to carry all this stuff out to the field and you're on a big farm, you will quit. You're not gonna keep doing it. You're gonna get tired of it. Oh, this is just too much work. Especially on a summer day when it's 100 degrees out there and you're trying to carry all this out to the field. No, you're not gonna last. You may last a couple weeks, but I've been doing this for, gosh, since 93, whatever that is. That's a long time. But I've got the right tool. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. So check it out. Look at the description section of this video. I've got a link there. You can just click on. It has my discount code on it for Powerflex. And you can get your posts, you can get your reels, you can get your Powerflex polybraid. There's no better polybraid in the world than Powerflex. I've tried them all. And this is the premier. Make sure you ask for the mixed metal. Mixed metal. So what is mixed metal? It's got 6 steel strands and 3 copper. And it's twice as conductive as a single polywire. That's why our animals stay in. They don't like it when they get hit by that stuff. And I don't like it when I get hit by that. It hurts. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you down the road.